Hello friends, in this video we are going to solve the problem number 19, that is remove nth node from an end of a linked list. Okay, in this problem it's given a head of a linked list and we just remove the nth node from the end of a linked list. In this example, see this, it's given a linked list that is 1 2 3 4 5. These are the nodes value, and gives n equals 2. That means second node from the end of a linked list. This is first node. It's my second node from the end of a linked list, and we just remove the this node, and we just connect from this node to this node. Okay. Uh, in the example 2, it's given a only one nodes, that is 1, and after removing the one node from end of linked list from single value, that will be just 1 only, and after removing it will be just empty linked list. And in example 3, it's given two nodes that containing 1 and 2, and remove the n equals to 1, mean first node from the end of an English, that is 2. Here 2 will be just removed. Okay, so let's start solving this problem with step-by-step approach, and we just solve this problem by less time complexity. Okay, we understand, first of all we understand the problems, and we just focus on our solution. What will be our solution, how we approach this solution to solve in order to solve this problem. Okay, let's start. Okay, see this, in this it's given, and we just understand this problem by just from example only. Okay, we just know the basic things from removing from end of a linked list, from beginning of a linked list, from middle part of a linked list. We just understand the basic things and basic their algorithms. Now we just solve this problem. Okay, here see first in order to solve this problem, I just follow some steps. So what are the steps? Okay, my steps will be my steps are really just in the first steps. I will just, okay, well, see, okay, see this, we have just follow some steps, and my steps are will be just, I just first of all I just count the all element. I just count the all element, count all element, count all node, sorry, I count all node. And then the second step, what I will do is, in the second step I just find the previous element, that will be the, and the previous element from of the deleted node. Just found the deleted element previous node, or, previous node of deleted of of deleted node. Okay, in the third step, what I will follow, in the third step I just connect the previous node into next node. Okay, next node. So this is my entire steps we just need to follow. First of all, I just counting the nodes, count the each nodes by creating a temp variable who is initially pointing to the my head of a linked list. This is my, sorry, okay, this will be my, this is my head of a linked list. Okay, this will be initially pointing to my head of a linked list, and this I just named this as a temp, and it will be just in, it will be now pointing to its temp node until my temp is not null. Okay, I just created a variable that is count. Initially I assign its value 0, and after each node pointing it just increase its value. After each node it just increase its value by 1. Okay, or in order to, I just write in this format also, count whole plus plus. Okay, this, first of all I just check is my temp is null or not. I just found that temp will be not null. That's why I'm pointing my temp into second node, and temp will be now here. Okay, so I just follow some of its steps. Okay, I just follow these steps in order to find my solution. I just follow these entire steps, and after pointing, I just forget. Okay, I am here. I am here that if I temp will be not null, I just pointing temp into my next node. Okay, now temp will be pointing here. I just increase counting value by 1, and after here I just increase my counting value by 1. Now 10 9 9 so now my temp will be pointing to here, and after at the end, and my temp will be pointing to my last node. Okay, at the end temp will be is pointing to null. That's why I never cross its up bound. That's why at the end I found my counting value, and I just found, in order to find the previous element, what should I do? In order to find the previous element, I just I just put a formula that count minus nth of a node, that will be given in the functions. Okay, so I just follow this entire steps to solve this problem. Okay, let's start. Okay, first of all I need to initialize a counting variable by CEO, which initialize its value by 0, and created a temp node that will be pointing to head of a linked list. Head, given its head, that will temp will be pointing to head. I just found here my counting the node, counting node. Okay, uh, so we used while loop to counting the nodes. So until I just run my loop until my I found the temp will be not null, and if temp will be not null, I just increase my temp with temp dot next, and increase counting value by 1. At the end, it return its count. Okay, so if I now I need to find the previous node, and into to find the previous node I have discussed the formula that counting minus given end of a given number node. Okay, so this I just created a variable and created its name as x. Okay, let's give it x, and count minus n. Okay, this is my I in order to this variable is used to finding the previous element from of the deleted element. Okay, if I found that my x will be 0, that means if I found that my x will be 0, then what the mean that means is counting value is equals is n value. So it means that it will have single element, or this means a single element, and I just return its uh, return 0 and 0. Let's see. Okay, found that x will be 0, then I just return what I return. I just return. Okay, and I have created a temp variable with a head, and I need to pointing the previous element. That's why I created a for loop, and it pointing to I into I equal to 1 to I less than to x. X means until I found that my previous element. Okay, now my I will be increased by 1. Okay, so what will be here? Now my temp will be now pointing to dot next. Temp will be pointing to temp dot next, and at the end I just connect the previous element into next element. That will be temp dot next equals to temp dot next dot next. That will be connect to the previous element to its next element. Okay, now I just return my head value. Okay, let's run the code. If I have confused here, so I need to check here that confused here. That's correct. And if I found that it will just return its head value. It is now it will be necessary. But what is source? Okay, here I have forgot to tell that I just return here head dot next. Okay, why head dot next? Because if there will be only one element, after removing that one element, what will be my if there is only one element, that will be head. After it's removing, my head will be pointing to head dot next. My head will be what is my remaining element? My remaining only element will be head dot next only. Okay, I have not I have understand, but I have unable to clarify what is error. Okay, now check is worked out correctly or not. Okay, it's all work correctly. That's why it's satisfy condition, and I just revise you only one time. Okay, I just initialize a counting variable as 0 and created a temp variable that will be pointing to head of my English. I just counting the entire nodes, but how many nodes I have, and I just in order to finding the previous element, I just created a variable int x, and I just store its value. Okay, if I found that my x will be 0, there is only one element left. Okay, if there is only one element, I just return its head dot next. Okay, I in the second process, I just modify my value temp as a head, and I run a loop that will be for int I equals to 1 to my previous element. The temp will be pointing to temp dot next, and my at the end my finally temp will be pointing to my previous element. Here the previous element is now pointing to my next element. Okay, after that my nth node from the end of a linked list will be removed. Okay, that will be removed automatically by Java garbage collection. Okay, that will be different things. So at the end it will be returned just a head, and we'll just run it satisfy our condition, entire condition. Okay, thank you for watching the video. Okay, have a good day.